I'm Sarah from People for Bikes. Thanks for joining us in this series as we share our passion for making biking better for everyone. It takes many things to build a good city for biking, but one of them is indisputably a complete, connected, comfortable system of protected bikeways, trails, and quiet neighborhood streets that help people get where they need to go while traveling safely on two wheels. Between 2005 and 2010, the city of Sevilla, Spain created a 120-kilometer network of protected on-street pathways, removing 5,000 parking spaces along the way. The result was a 5-fold increase in cycling trips to 72,000 in 2011. To put it in context, Sevilla went from about having as much biking as Oklahoma City to having about as much biking as Portland, Oregon over the course of just 4 years. To learn what makes Sevilla so great for biking and home to one of the fastest bike infrastructure investments in world history, we spoke with Manuel Calvo.
We designed a first phase during 2004 and 5, and then the works started in 2006. By mid-2007, we had the complete first phase of 80 kilometers. We did not build pieces of bike lanes or bike tracks on that avenue or that street. No, we did not do that. We built a network as a whole project, as a single project, I would say. So that's something that was really important. It's safer because of safety numbers. Cycling traffic has grown so much. It's almost 700% in just 3 or 4 years. So safety numbers is a huge reason why it's safer now. The reality that the network of the cycle lane always looks the same. It's really visible for the rest of the users of the streets and the cars. And it's also really comfortable to use. So lots of people cycling on an infrastructure that is there, and it's really visible, even in the intersections. Those are the two reasons why much safer, I would say, to cycle in the city.
Sevilla's focus and ambition resulted in a cycling network that forever changed the landscape of the city and came at a fiscal bargain. The entire network cost the city $40 million, far less than highway projects at the time, and with many more benefits to residents. A crucial moment for Sevilla's bicycling future came in 2003, when a coalition of bike-supporting politicians were elected to office. Backed by a survey indicating 90% of Sevilla's residents supported building the bike network, city officials moved quickly to implement the network while funding, public support, and political will were all in place.
From the beginning, there was a really strong political will, that just not to have the money to do it, but also to confront the political debate at that point and to confront the people who said at that point investing in cycling infrastructure was useless. There was a strong political movement and dynamics that helped a lot in order to get that cycling promotion. You have to search for consensus, but consensus is actually impossible in the terms that you're thinking about consensus. So you always have to make it happen, even though there's maybe lots of people that are against it. The conservative newspapers or the conservative movement that went clearly against those developments. The growth of cycling movements and trips was so huge that even the people from that were living at that point in the conservative neighborhoods were using a bike. So reality was so tough for them that they just had to admit that they were wrong. Everyone agrees, you could say, in the city about cycling and that bike is and cycling movements are a really important piece on the mobility system in the city. And actually that could happen in every city. I'm convinced about that. There's no local situations that are saying, no, we cannot do this here. No, that's not it. I mean, that's not real. what we did in Seville was to widen the sidewalk platform and placed it in that space that was taken mostly from the cars, from the road space. So we widened the road, the platform, the sidewalk, and then we placed the cycle lane on top. The safety, or the perceived safety, of the people who were as beginners was better. But the main reason, actually, if there was a local government that had to remove the cycling infrastructure, it was always a sidewalk platform. So that space would go to the pedestrians and not to the cars again. I mean, they have to build another road in order to get rid of the bike lane. If you just place a separator on the road, that's cheaper, that's faster, but it's really easy to remove it.
Recently, with the drafting of a new bicycle plan, cycling is again on the rise. In addition to expanding the cycling network, this new plan includes projects that will construct safe bicycle parking structures in neighborhoods, workplaces, schools, and public transport stations, which are highly demanded by people on bikes.
Now that we have the network all around the city, now it's the time to improve the quality of the network. A necessity right now, because we have traffic jams of bikes and some pieces of the network. It's now time to improve the capacity and to widen actually the bike lanes. And we are convinced that if we improve the capacity, more bikes are going to come. In addition to that, the city is also trying to improve the parking spaces, so people could get their bikes to the train stations and park their bikes safely and then get the transit. The city is also trying to improve the bike parking on working spaces and working buildings and schools and the university, and also on the apartments and the buildings where people live.
Sevilla has shown that the implementation of a safe, connected cycling network separated from motorized traffic can boost ridership, making cycling a normal activity integrated into the daily lives of people from any city. This network, supported by a strong citizen movement and widespread use, is now resilient for future generations. Thanks for joining us as we looked at what makes Sevilla an amazing place for riding bikes. Visit our City Ratings website for more tools and resources that will improve the health, livelihood, and future of our streets, cities, and planet. Together, let's create a better world through bikes.